So today I want to talk about some UFC narratives that are made by the fans that are just not true, okay, or at least that I heavily disagree with, obviously. And there's a few different topics ranging in this video I want to talk about, ranging from commentators to certain controversial GOAT placements to style matchups that I just think go completely differently to how most think. We got to set the record straight, all right, boys? Let's just start, because I got a few of them I want to talk about, okay? So starting off with the idea that Joe Rogan is the best UFC commentator. Y'all are not ready for this conversation. He's not the best, okay? He's not even second. Now, hear me out, chill, alright? I know you're mad. Chill out. Hear me out. Joe Rogan, he's an OG. I love him. I love Rogan. He's an OG of the game. Was so important, so crucial to the UFC's early success, especially holding the fans' hands, the early new fans who didn't really know what was going on the ground, walking them through it, talking them through it, telling them what's going on. He was so important to the rise of the sport, and I respect him so much for it. But respectfully, Unk is washed as fuck, okay? He's so just out of touch. He says some of the most goofiest things ever. Okay, listen. One, he's way too busy to actually be up to date and aware of the current roster. This dude is still talking about people that got cut, and he's not even aware of it, okay? That's probably not true. It's a joke, but he's talking about, like, the 90s. I'm sorry. He's never aware of, like, low-ranking fighters, the low prelim guys. He never knows anything about any of them anymore, and I'm not blaming him. He runs the most popular, the number one podcast in the world, okay? Clearly, he's not going to be checked in and obsessed with UFC as he once was. Understandably so. But fans don't get that, and they refuse to accept that he's not the guy he used to be. He doesn't follow UFC as well as he used to. It's just the truth. And two, he says the same things every fucking time. I know it's a bit of a meme at this point, but as soon as someone lands a leg kick, they'll literally land one leg kick, and the guy taking the kick will not blink, will not even flinch, will not move, okay? And Joe Rogan starts screaming, starts blabbling. Oh, he's compromised. That lead leg's getting beat the fuck up. Oh my god. You see that welt? Look how red it is. Like, shut up. He's fine. The leg is not compromised, Joe. You're lying. Stop fucking gaslighting the fans. The actual clear number one commentator, okay, is Paul Felder. I've always thought this. I've always said this. It's Paul Felder. He's so chill. He's so well-spoken. He's so clear to understand. He doesn't ramble fast. He doesn't say stupid, useless input, like just empty lines of just nothing, just to fill the empty void when no one's talking. Because that is a negative. Commentators should not do that. If there's nothing to be said, don't say it, okay? You're just going to sound dumb. And he's also very in touch and very aware of the low-level roster of the UFC, especially with the Contender Series, the Dana White Contender Series. He's very aware and in touch with that. He is always giving such good input, such, like, in-depth, in-detail facts about the fighters and stats and shit. He's always helping me out all the time. He really is. And my favorite thing about Paul Felder is, even being a fighter who retired pretty recently, okay, he's not that far away from retirement. He's not been in retirement for too long. Even so, he never lets his fighter ego get to him, like DC. Yeah, we're going to get to him. Well, we're not, but fuck DC, all right? He's the most biased commentator on the UFC fucking roster, okay? Get him out of there. Fire him. And Paul Felder, yeah, DC is so biased. Paul Felder has never been biased. I've literally never witnessed him being biased, okay? He's so unbiased. That's the most important thing for me. I cannot stand that shit. Just tell it how it is. No walking around on eggshells. But yeah, we'll move on, because I could talk about that shit, the commentary shit, the commentator stuff forever, okay? So we'll move on to the next controversial narrative made by the fans. Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, is better than Alex Pereira, okay? Not true, okay? Not true at all. Alex Pereira is the way better, the way more complete UFC fighter, and that's just the truth. And I'm not even here to be a Poetan tard. I'm not here to be a Poetard. I'm really not. I'm not going to say 3-1. Okay, it is 3-1 though, but I'm not going to say 3-1. I don't care about the kickboxing matches, okay? I get it. Izzy knocked him out cold while fucking Pereira had to TKO him to a controversial early stoppage. It was still early. I still stand by that. But it doesn't matter, okay? We're not going to talk about that like detail shit. All I'm saying is Poetan going up to 205, doing what Izzy failed to try to do when he tried to go fight Jan for the belt and failed and got embarrassed. And people don't even talk about that shit. They act like it never happened because of how embarrassing it is for Izzy. The only stat I give to Izzy is IQ and defense, okay? He does have better IQ. He fights smarter. He'll do what it does. You know, he'll do what it takes to get that boring decision. And Poetan does not fight like that. He fights like a, what is it? Ojeda. How do you say warrior in Portuguese? Fuck, I knew how to say it. Quijero. He's a Quijero. Yeah, I remembered it. I definitely didn't just Google it. Quijero, okay? He's a fucking Quijero, and he's a warrior, okay? He's gonna always be a warrior. He's always gonna fight like that. That's how he fights. Izzy fights like a bitch, going for decisions, going for fucking tapping the fucking lead leg of his opponent. Just, dude, Izzy is not a better fucking kickboxer than Alex. Alex's leg kicks are way better. His fucking boxing is just way better. He's way more competent at it. Izzy's KOs all come from crazy, random, just 1-2s, just crazy, random exchanges, you know? Poetan actually will hunt you down, will use his fucking weird-ass, just awkward-ass style to corner you in the cage. He'll force you, will put you where he wants you without even doing anything, just with his movements and his feints. He's so weird. He's so much better than Izzy. I hate it. I hate that we'll never see that trilogy to decide to break the 1-1 draw record that they have in the UFC. I hate that we'll never see that, probably. It's so sad. And Izzy's record is slightly better still, probably. I would have to check that, but I mean, if it wasn't for the win over Pereira, his resume wouldn't be better, you know? And I know that's a dumb argument, but I don't care. All right, I probably explained this argument really badly, but I don't care. Poetan is the better fighter. He's done more in the sport, like, in less time than Izzy, okay? His legacy is going to go down and be way greater than Izzy's, okay? No hate to Izzy, I'm just saying. He's going to be remembered as a legend who finished everybody, saved main events, just put on shows. And I know I'm really just arguing he's a more exciting fighter, but no. Poetan is more skilled as well, okay? I don't care. He'd win in a trilogy at 205, obviously. He'd probably find a way to win at 185 as well. Let's be real. I'm not going to say Izzy got lucky, but if he didn't land that one exchange in that fight, do you think he was going to knock him out later in the fight? No, okay? Izzy was on his way to getting finished. And yeah, that's just the truth of it. Poetan is the better fighter. I know that hurts Izzy fans, but it's just the truth. I used to be one of you. Before, I was rooting for Izzy to beat Poetan when he beat him. And when Izzy did that, I was an Izzy fan. And I was at the top of the world, boys. And now I don't really like Izzy. I find him kind of corny. I find him kind of gay. I find him kind of weird, you know? So, yeah, Poetan's better. Let's move on. Moving on to the narrative that the flyweight division is the most skilled and technical division. Oh, boy. You just love when people make that same Instagram post they've been making for years about, bro, look at these fucking flyweights fighting on the prelims for their lives. Like, their lives are at stake. Shut up, okay? Just because you show a clip of Royval landing a spinning back fist or spinning elbow doesn't mean shit. Flyweight is just bantamweight without power, which is just shit, you know? Like, it's just bantamweights who are too small for bantamweight and have no power. That's all flyweight is. They can't finish each other. They all go to decision. They're all so low output, so plotty. They're cutting half the roster, for fuck's sake. Cutting ranked 10 Mateus Nicolau. Like, what is that decision? I think that's just evidence that the division's getting cut. It's getting deleted. Wrap it up, boys. And I don't think a lot of real, like, actual fans who know what they're talking about say this type of shit anymore. But back in the day, a year or two ago, This was an actual, like, popular opinion. No. Bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, they're all way more skilled than flyweight. I agree, it's more skilled than middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. I will admit that. I do think it's more skilled technically. But people act like this shit is like a whole different fucking sport. They're like, this is the most skilled guys. They're small. They're so fast, though, and explosive, and they do crazy combos. You can't compete with them. Shut up, okay? Flyweights never have success going up to 135. They can't even use the light man skill. They suck, okay? No, they don't. I'm trolling, okay? But can we stop with that? Flyweight is not the best division. It's not the most technical. The fucking flyweights are not fighting on the prelims for their lives. It's not a... Stop making that Instagram post. It's pissing me off. I'm not going to see that shit again. If I see it one more time, I'm deleting Instagram. Probably already should. But, yeah, let's move on because this topic isn't that important. I don't think a lot of people are actually saying this take anymore. But I still see it somewhat, so I got to let it be known. All right, this next one's pretty personal. I'm going to keep it quick, though, because I don't have much to say on it. You see my PFP on YouTube, bro. Islam's my favorite fighter, and this one pisses me off, okay? The narrative that Islam Makhachev is a boring fighter, he's a boring crotch sniffer, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, the people still say this. I swear they do. I see the comments all the time. They still try to say this shit, and I get it. They're probably not the most knowledgeable fans, okay? But fuck me. This dude is literally the GOAT, all right? He's the GOAT of his division. He's a future GOAT of the sport. Stop calling him boring. He's putting on war after war and finishing crazy fucking levels of competition. What do you want? I get it. You're still crying that he head kick KO'd Volk and Volk came in a shitty situation. That's not Makhachev's fault. And he won the first Volk fight. That fight was literally like fight of the year. Everyone glazed that fight. But no one gave Islam credit because it was an apparent robbery. Okay, to be fair, I low-key thought it was a robbery at the time. I was an Islam fan at that time as well. I was stupid, okay? I rewatched the fight. Islam won. He just won, okay? He clearly won. I really thought Volk... I think I just let the Volk ground and pounding on Islam at the end of the fight fuck with my head too much. I think that is really what did it. A lot of people saying that this fight was a robbery. I really think that's what did it for a lot of people, but other than that, I just don't understand. What are people talking about? This dude is not a nut hugger. If he goes for a takedown, he's going to get you down, and he's probably going to sub you later in the fight, if not then. Like, save these lines for people like Mario Batista, okay? Fuck that guy. Go call him a crotch sniffer. Islam is not boring. He's not a crotch sniffer. End of discussion. All right, this next one is a little favorite of mine, okay? Because I know my boy Bedtime loves saying this shit. And I agree. Like, what the fuck? I agree. Dominic Cruz is not the bantamweight GOAT. He's not the undeniable bantamweight GOAT. He's not. Why do people say this, bro? Like, bro, Marab clears, and I'm the biggest Marab hater. Go look back at my videos, bro. I don't like Marab. I want him out of the division. Banish him. But his resume is stacked. You can't deny it. It doesn't matter how he beat them. He beat them dominantly. It doesn't matter if it was by boring decision. He beat the people dominantly. He dominated Peter Yan. He dominated Jose Aldo. Like, okay, the Jose fight was actually decently close, but he dominated so many world champions, bro, including Sugar. Like, come on, man. He didn't dominate Sugar, but he beat Sugar, clearly. Like, come on, bruh. What are we doing? And that's just Marab. Like, honestly, I think there's a good argument that TJ is over him. I know, the fucking roid cheater. I get it. But y'all call Jones the GOAT, so what the fuck are you talking about? Why can't he be the GOAT of a weight class when the GOAT of the sport is the most unclean fighter in the sport's history? Like, I get it, okay? It's nostalgia biased. It's respecting the old heads, the 90 boys. I get it. But Dominic Cruz, you're telling me you're putting... Okay, he beat Demetrius when he was a tadpole. That win is shit. It's a good win, but it's not at all the same as beating a Demetrius Johnson as we know him, okay? Just be real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself to win an argument. It's not worth it. He beat Uriah Faber, I think twice. Really impressive wins. even though everyone beat Uriah Faber, literally everybody. Okay, and then he beat TJ in a controversial decision, you know. It was a close fight. I thought TJ won the fight, but Dom got the nod. I'm not mad about that. I'm not calling it a robbery, okay? Good wins. But then he, like falls off Joseph Benavidez. Other than those wins, who? You're telling me you have those wins over Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo, fucking Sean O'Malley? Like, come on, man. Those names alone just clear the names I listed for Dominic Cruz. So that argument alone is enough, okay? In my opinion, you easily put Peter Yan over Dominic. You easily probably put Sugar over him. Sorry. I think his resume is probably about slightly worse. But, yeah, I don't know. His resume is... Sean's is probably slightly worse. But that win over Aljamain is very impressive. So, I don't know. It's close. It's closer than people think, probably. But, I mean, Sean would beat the fuck out of him. He would beat the fuck out of Dominic. Dude, he got knocked out by Marlon Vera. I'm ending this discussion. He's not the GOAT. Fuck off. All right, I got two left, and they both have to do with Ilia Topuria. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about him, okay? I'll start with this one, okay? So, the whole narrative the fans have made, okay? I saw the GOAT lists. I saw bedtimes. I saw Lucas's. Bro, Ilia is not top 10 yet. What are these dudes talking about? I am sorry. They are making it seem like the Vulcan Max wins count as like six all-time wins when they're only 2. Like, they literally just multiplied them by 3 or something, because that's the only way they can justify this shit. Bro, he has 3, arguably 4 all-time wins. That's just simply less. So much less. So much. Just less levels of competition. Just so much less done in the sport. Like, I'm someone who's maybe saying Islam's too high up there, too early, but y'all saying Ilia is top 10 already is fucking blasphemy. Putting him over people like Demetrius, Demetrius is not the best example, but I think Demetrius is still over him easily. I could never forgive Lucas for putting Ilia over Demetrius, bro. Like, Ilia has no legacy yet. He just doesn't. He does. He has 2 legacy wins. But other than that, other than defending the belt one time and having good KO wins over 2 legends, he doesn't have the crazy win streak. He doesn't have the crazy volume in his resume yet. He doesn't have the multi-divisional champ yet. He's just missing so much shit. I don't understand why you'll have him so high up. You're wrong, okay? He's like 15 maybe. He's like 16, okay? He's not top 10 yet. He needs another good-ass win, maybe 2, to be like the 8 to 10 spot, okay? Then I'll be okay with it. Too early, okay? And then just the last narrative, that Ilia could go up to 170 and be successful. You're a fucking retard. I'm sorry. He almost got chinned at 155 by a nobody. If you think he could go to 170 and beat anybody in the top 5, you're an idiot. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't associate with my channel ever again, please. You'll do us both a favor, because you're an idiot. Bro, he's not knocking out Belal. I see this so much. Belal would manhandle this little dude, bruh. He'd throw his little ass around easily. He'd bitch him like he was nothing. I swear to God he would. Belal, okay? The Belal from like 5 years ago, who was way worse striker, way worse in the grappling, couldn't get finished by fucking not Neil Magny. Jeff Neal, okay? That's his name. Jeff Neal, who has some of the hardest hands at 170, who hits way harder than Ilia Topuria. Don't even try to argue that. He hits way harder than Ilia. Was landing everything he could on Belal's face and chin. Couldn't finish him. Head kicks, couldn't finish him. It doesn't matter, brother. I'm not going to get finished, okay? I have a good chin. He has a really good chin. He's not going to get finished. He's going to shoot that takedown and get him down because he's just way too big. If you think Ilia can have success in 3 weight classes, you're just delusional. But yeah, guys, that's the whole video. I just wanted to rant about some shit that I just think is blasphemy to actually have an opinion as. Like, you cannot have these opinions, okay? You just can, and I've let it be known. You know, the only one I'd be okay with is maybe saying that Izzy's better than Poatan. But I just disagree with that heavily, okay? Yeah, that's the video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.